What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video with your favorite Afro gamer, Swanee. And today I'm here recording with
Rocket's Redemption on TikTok, but y'all can call me Rocket. So Schwan, what's the topic of today's video?
In today's video, we're going to be discussing the most badass boss fights in gaming.
Testing.
Okay.
Oh, bro, my fault.
But with that being said, let's get straight into my fourth pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going with Radahn from Elden Ring. If you guys don't know who Radahn is, let me show you guys real fast.
They know I'm a big boss, got a big boss in this bitch. They know I'm a big talker, have my big body and they see.
Radahn is the consort of Mikola, and there's two phases to this fight. The reason I'm going with Radahn for my fourth pick is due to the fact that he really is like that. This is the first boss to ever make me quit the game for a whole week straight. I went into this fight thinking it was going to be a cakewalk, but little did I know what I had coming. When I first walked into the room for the first stage, he hit me right off the bat, and I died right away. I was like, oh, hold on, he's low-key like that. So I go back into the fight. I'm dodging and stuff. Next thing you know, he killed me again with a meteor attack. After I was killed by the meteor attack, I went back into the fight. Locked in now. I'm locked in. I'm boxing him. Next thing you know, I get to the second phase. Once I hit the second phase, he does this shining light attack. I don't know what it's called, but it killed me right away. There was no dodging it at all. I kept trying until it got to a point where I couldn't even get to the second phase anymore. After that, I took a week off the game. I tried again. Couldn't beat him. Then I took another week off. Basically taking a whole month off the game. But one day I got on, and then I started boxing him. And I finally beat him. And yeah, I don't understand how much of an accomplishment that is to beat Radahn, because it was so stressful and it was hurting my soul that I didn't beat the game and had to take months off. But this is the reason I give Radahn the fourth spot in this pick.
Here is my fourth pick, Deathstroke from Arkham Origins. Out of all the Arkham games, Deathstroke pushes Batman to his physical limits like no other combatant. This boss fight starts with Deathstroke getting the drop on Batman like nothing we've ever seen before. And then we get to see 3 phases of rising difficulty. This fight takes place in Batman's second year. And up until this point, you never get to see him fight somebody as capable as Deathstroke. And when they fight, they really are fighting. Deathstroke pushes Batman, as I said, to his limits. And when he is finally defeated, you can tell this is his greatest challenge he's faced up until this point.
And with my third pick, I'm going with Jack Baker from
Resident Evil 7.
Jack most definitely deserves a spot on this list. He comes back no matter what the circumstance is. He survived a gunshot to the face. He put the gun in his mouth and blew his own brains out. And me thinking he was going to be dead throughout the whole game, I thought that was his last fight. I see him again in the basement. And this is the main fight I would like to talk about. In the basement fight with Jack, he's using a chainsaw against you. And you're wasting all your bullets on him. And he literally tells you that himself. You gotta keep wasting all your bullets until you can get the chainsaw from behind the gate. And once you get that chainsaw, it's time to go to work. Throughout the fight, you have to kick the body bags to stun Jack. And if you can't stun him, he's most definitely gonna land a hit on you. When I first went into this fight, I wasted all my bullets and didn't know what to do. It took me multiple tries, and then I finally seen it. That I had to grab the chainsaw. And once I grabbed the chainsaw, it was over from there. I finally beat Jack. Or so I thought. I could keep talking about Jack if I really wanted to, but that will only make the video so much longer. But with that being said, this is why I picked Jack for my third pick.
Now here is my third pick, Wesker and Jill from
Resident Evil 5.
After searching for Jill all of Resident Evil 5, you're finally confronted with Wesker and find out he is the one who brainwashed Jill. And they pull no punches. The start of the fight is Wesker dodging all of your bullets with a cold ass line saying,
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
but during the fight, you are on the losing side. Wesker chasing you down, Jill doing all different type of backflips. And finally, when Wesker does leave and you defeat Jill, it's still not fulfilling. You want to take down Wesker, not Jill. And Wesker is the one who dominated you throughout this fight. And that's my third pick.
With my second pick, I have your reason from the game
Devil May Cry.
The reason I have your reason on this list is because he really is like that for real, for real. For you guys that don't know who your reason is, let me break it down for you real fast. Your reason is a dark representation of Virgil's dark side. And for you guys that don't know who Virgil is like that. When you first start this game, you get a tutorial boss fight. And the tutorial boss fight is your reason. And going into this fight, you're thinking that you could probably beat him. But no matter what, you will lose. Unless you're really good at the game. But the main thing I want to talk about is why he deserves to be on this list. At first, you start off the fight with Nero and your reason. And your reason obliterates Nero while sitting down. And then big dog Dante comes to the rescue. Or so you thought. Dante's fighting your reason, and your reason breaks Dante's rebellion, all while sitting down. That leaves you with the question asking, is your reason really that powerful? Part of the reason I threw him on my list is because he was doing all of this while sitting down. He did not break one sweat while fighting until someone landed an actual blow on him. But this is the reason I picked your reason as my second pick.
Now my second to last pick is Virgil's second boss fight.
Wanna know the name? Devil May Cry.
Now this fight isn't as spectacular as his third, but it's just a build up from the first fight that makes this one good to me. And it's also just a personal pick. When you first fight Virgil, he obliterates Dante. But in their second fight, neither of them win. It's a battle between brothers. And it's my favorite of their three battles. And it makes the third boss fight even better when you finally defeat Virgil. But it is in this boss fight where you truly get to see them battle each other on equal footing, which I enjoy the most. And it is always a pleasure to hear Virgil say when you die,
You are not worthy as my opponent.
And with my final pick, I am going with Thor from God of War Ragnarok. When you first encounter Thor, he pulls up with a coat on, looking all mysterious, coming to talk. But he's also there with Odin. They were there trying to compromise some sort of plan with Kratos, but Kratos was not going for it. If y'all know him, he don't go for anything. So Odin gave Thor that keyword and told him to go for it. And then Thor was waiting for that moment that whole time, as he said. So that leads up to the first fight, and you're fighting Thor without your axe. In this first fight, Thor is bodying Kratos. After getting beat up and thrown around for a little bit, Kratos gets enraged and gets his axe. Now you're fighting him with an axe, and you're thinking, oh yeah, it's go time. But it only leads up to Thor killing you and saying,
Oh no. I say when we're done.
and now when Thor revives you, I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, he is him. And now you fight Thor once again, only for him to get harder. After all of that, you guys have a clash off with the axe and hammer. And once Thor sees the real Kratos, he dips up out of there because he did not want no parts of that. And this is the reason why I chose Thor as my first pick.
now for my final pick, I have Darth Vader from Jedi Fallen Order. Now I'll be honest, I'm technically cheating with this one. Vader isn't truly a boss, but the game sets him up as a legitimate boss fight. For a second, makes you believe maybe you can fight Darth Vader. until you snap back to reality and realize you are no match for a Dark Lord of the Sith. As soon as you go to swing at Vader, he force chokes you, throws you away. What you even try to do with the force, he sends back at you 10 times over. Then it just turns into a race for your life, trying to get away from Vader. And in the end, when you finally think you're safe, he finds you, and the only reason you get away is from the help of BD1, your droid. To me, this is the best performance a boss has had in any game. Vader puts the term "I'm him" on the map.
And this is the end of the video for the most badass boss fights in gaming.
Let us know what bosses y'all would have on the list. And thank you, Schwan, for having me on the channel. This was an incredibly fun video to make.
And don't forget to check out Rocket's Redemption on TikTok and YouTube. And with that being said, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.